How has the gospel affected my life? Well, one of the ways among many ways it's affected me is how I view my job as a deputy sheriff in law enforcement. My job exists because sin exists, and I've realized that mainly law enforcement is just a band-aid on society. We can't really fix problems ultimately because people's problems are sin problems. And being in law enforcement is a front row seat to sin on full display at times, and so responding to calls and seeing people's responses to sin and the effects of sin on people, I've seen that ultimately the only thing that can change people is not my job or my ability to change people, but there's a heart issue that's going on there, and the gospel is the only thing that can ultimately and really fix people's problems. So whether it's someone calling 911 because they're a victim of sin, or someone that we arrest because they're a suspect in sin, or whether it's my sinfulness or the guys that I work with, I realize that we're all in need ultimately of a Savior. We're in need of Jesus Christ, and that our sinfulness has separated us from God, and we're bearing His righteous wrath as a result of that sin. And the only thing that can fix it isn't better situations or law enforcement, but it's the gospel. It's Christ coming and taking on flesh and dying for us. So it's affected the way I see people, it's affected the way I see myself, it's affected the way I see my job. I love my job, I'm glad I'm the band-aid on society, but I can see that God has instituted law enforcement for a reason, to keep a check on evil, but it can never solve sin's problem. It can only keep somewhat of a check on it. So it affects the way I interact with people, whether I'm going to a call, I'm praying for people, or if I'm at a call, or when I'm leaving a call, praying for them, praying, asking that God would either use me, use someone else to speak that gospel into their life and to share with them the good news of Jesus Christ.